Last time on Total Party Guild.
And then you hear this click, and then you feel a draft of air pushing from behind you.
We just open a hidden door or something?
When you turn around to look, you see that there's the wall itself is beginning to open up a little bit, and it's like moving on well-greased hinges. It's almost completely silent. About a half a second later, you get this putrid scent that hits your nostril.
Can I hop down over to where the wall's swinging open and be like, hey, look what I found. Guys, you gotta smell this.
It smells bad.
Oh.
Welcome, heroes, to Total Party Guild, your weekly retro wave-inspired D&D podcast. I am Sean Rowe, and I'll be your DM for this story arc. Tonight, the guild has hired
Vanessa Otero playing Jewel Von Onyx, human bard.
Jeremy Blackheart playing Brilliance B. Redmoon, a tiefling fighter.
And Justin Lamb playing Stenel Bjornsson, the halfling barbarian.
Last time on Total Party Guild, the heroes had vanquished their foes in the basement of a mansion, and then they spent some time diving to the secrets thereof. They discovered several cases containing bits and pieces used to build more of these war machines. They discovered that 12 had already been built and sent off, but to where, they're not sure. In an effort to find it, they continued searching the mansion, found the decaying body of Lord Strangenfell. Some terrible things happened there. Stenel, looking at you. After that, they went back to the guild, took some time to rest, did a little bit of research, didn't find too much out in the research department, and are now on their way to Zion's Bank, where they believe the key they found inside the mansion, possibly the key to unraveling this mystery, lies. This is where we start, with our heroes just entering the bank. Early in the morning, the steward of the bank beginning to approach them as Jewel, clothed in the disguise of the steward of Stangenfell's estate, stands there with the rest of the party. Party, what do you wish to do?
Bet he still sound like Jewel.
I don't remember how the dude sounds.
You could just look the part, and then I can walk ahead of you.
Sure.
And I'll walk up to the gates.
You guys are already inside.
Turn around and walk away from the gates because we're inside. So we'll head to where it looks like the most money is.
So there's a steward of the bank, and he's already walking towards you guys with a thin smile on his face. And as he does, he looks over at you, Jewel, and says, "Oh, Arturo, you're here for your weekly meeting? You seem to be a bit early."
Yes, our Lord wanted to come in and do his lordly business. So we're here for it. Thank you.
And he looks down at Stenel and says, "Oh, I do not remember you. You must be new?"
And I'll just cross my arms and do like a...
I will nod and kind of grimace and put my hand up to the base of my throat, like signaling I have a sore throat, kind of.
Performance check.
Ooh, 15.
Natural 1. Oh, Arturo, that is not good. Yes, perhaps you'd like me to get you some tea.
We would all love some tea. Thank you.
Go ahead.
I'll say that was the cause of the problem.
No tea then. No tea.
Blistering hot tea just really, really scorched poor Arturo's throat. That's why Stangenfell sent myself and a bodyguard.
Well, okay then. Let me show you to the back. And he turns and starts walking towards the back of the bank.
Do we pass anybody by who might be holding tea? Okay.
No.
Well, I'll still keep a wary eye out in case any tries to hurt our Lord. I got eyes open.
Kind of whisper when he's not looking, because I assume he's faced away from us. I'll whisper safety deposit. It's like, if that's not where he's leading us, somebody needs to say that, right?
So he starts walking towards the back, and he opens up a small entrance to behind the counters and waves you guys through. And then he's like, is there any other business? Oh, I am sorry, Arturo, I forgot about your throat. But is there any other business you'd like to conduct while here, or just straight to the box?
We're just going to the safety deposit. deposit box.
Alrighty, that sounds good. And he takes you to the back of the bank. You guys are let into a large vault, and then down a small side door where there's a tiny room with a small table in the inside. He says, one moment, and he looks around the outside boxes, see him pull out a key and insert it, and then twist, and then he waits for you.
There's a place for a second key where he is twisted.
Yep.
I will pull out the key and put it in the hole.
When you twist to unlock it, you hear it click from the wall, and he slides it out, and then he puts it on the desk in front of you, nods, and then exits the room.
I nod back, like a business smile.
Business.
Doing a business.
What's in the box?
Yeah, what's in the box?
Yeah, once he's gone, we'll open the box.
It's not a very large box. And when you open it, on the inside, there is just a handful of small jewelry and a tiny pouch.
Open the pouch.
You open the pouch, and it feels heavy when you pick up the pouch. But when you open it, there doesn't seem to be anything inside of it.
What the hell? I thought this guy was loaded.
How heavy does it feel?
More than it should. Maybe like a sack of gold.
He gets magic. I don't have detect magic, so
It's just
we just want to take it and go.
it's just empty inside.
Yeah, it like you can see into it. It looks like it doesn't go very far. It looks pretty empty.
Can I reach my hand in?
Yeah, sure. You put your hand inside, and then you put your wrist inside, and then your arm continues to go inside. You don't feel anything, but it definitely goes a lot farther than it should.
We found ourselves a magic sack.
Can I turn it inside out?
You want to do that here?
You
Oh God.
pop it inside out, and
Oh God. It's a small room.
and as you do, there's the sound of showering gold coins, and a large rolled up vellum tube shoots out onto the floor and is quickly covered by the coins as they come. Within a short period of time, there is enough gold here to cover your ankles before it stops pouring out gold coins.
That's more like it.
We need to get this back in the bag quickly before he comes back in here.
And I just yell, "Of course, dumb me!" Like playing it up.
Can I take a moment to
Okay.
try and like Scrooge McDuck through the coins?
Oh my
If I can swim in it a bit.
So,
Yeah, you all watch Stennels. He just jumps onto this pile of coins and is like spreading them out even farther.
Dude, stop. We just got to get him back in the bag before he gets back in here.
you're just doing the breaststroke in gravel.
Yeah,
This is not as comfortable as it looks. I'll help you scoop them into the bag.
Half hour later.
I'm sure with magic you can mage hand that stuff in pretty quick.
Now I can interact with one at a time.
Oh God. Okay.
You might have an
all three
actual
of us. then.
shovel.
You might have shoveling coins.
I don't have a
yeah.
shovel.
I mean, the first beginning of the pile goes pretty quick. It's when it gets down to like the last layer on the floor that you have to like get your fingers in there and pop up each one and throw them in the sack. Pain in the ass.
Oh, and
Can
that
you
vellum
magic
tube.
change. Can't you magic change your weird gun into like a shovel for 5 minutes?
I tried, and you just hear the every time I try.
But it's just you making that sound with your mouth and not wanting to do it.
I'm really trying, guys.
Bad sound.
I can't do it.
Anyway,
So the large vellum tube is rolled pretty tight, and it's got a string that's wrapped around it, keeping it closed. Are you sticking that back inside the
yeah.
sack?
To get in the bag, we'll look at it later.
All right. So it slides back in the bag.
Holding.
What does that bag look like?
It's small, maybe as big as a coffee cup, and it's brown leather, very, very
So it's just a
plain,
little pouch.
with a drawstring on the top.
I'm just gonna put some random crap in the thing so it doesn't look like we just looted it.
Who cares? It's closed. It doesn't matter.
Is the top closed or is it like an open lid?
What are you talking
Like-
about?
The safety deposit
what do you-
box, you pull it out and the top is covered so they can't see what's inside of it, right?
Correct. Yeah, and then you open it up on your own after the guy
Oh,
leaves.
Okay.
Yeah. They won't know.
Sure. I'll just throw a grappling hook in there so it has some weight.
Okie doke.
Hang on. I have 2 toy soldiers I could put in there.
Are we making a geocaching box?
I can't think of anything else I would use these for. But you know what? Never mind. I'm keeping them.
Okay.
We got to get out of here because I have like 25 minutes left on my spell.
And most of that was scraping money off the floor.
Yeah.
All right, I'll go yell for the dude.
Like this was worth it.
Knock.
Yeah, so he comes back, and you slide the box back in place, and he takes his key, and you take your key, and I hope that that concludes all of the business, and please come back to Zion's Bank, and he leads you to the front.
Just say, sorry it took so long. It can be a little bit of a klutz.
It is all right. It is up to as much time as our clients need, especially those like Lord Strangenfell. Again, I hope you enjoy your day.
You as well.
Just nod.
I give a deep bow like a servant.
And he nods.
On the way out, do we pass anybody who's holding tea? Okay.
No.
I must be doing a great
No
job.
You are defending him from the tea. Yep.
If I had seen someone with tea, I would have knocked it out of their hands. We're coming through. All right, but we're out of here.
All right, you guys leave Zion's Bank. What do you wish to do?
Move away quickly.
Just got so
Wait till we get back to the guild hall or my house so we can look at that vellum stuff.
Yeah, sure. Let's do that one. I get to see Jules' house. Sleepover. Oh my gosh.
I
Sleepover.
mean, sure.
I promise I won't bring in a family of raccoons like last time.
Okay.
All right, so you guys travel to Jewel's house. Jewel, why don't you go ahead and describe your house for us as the party makes their way inside, and it's the first time that B has seen the extravagance of your home.
Yeah. So you walk in and it's just kind of, it's like a big studio, lofty studio on the top floor, like when you watch movies about people having like an artist studio, it's kind of like that. It's small, but the ceilings are high and it's decorated like I have a lot of people over, so there's just like ample seating space, and there's a piano and a bunch of different instruments in one corner. It's just kind of the little performance corner, and there are some steps that go outside to a roof, just like a hangout area on the roof. And if you look on just the right day, you can kind of see water from the sea, but you have to be on just the right day, just the right weather. But
nice.
They sell it as having a view of the sea, but you really can't see anything.
You occasionally can see the sparkles.
If you stand on a chair on one corner, you can see 1 pixel of the ocean.
Yeah, you can see like the water reflections on some houses.
If you jump really high and you squint really hard.
Yeah, but outside there's like a fireplace and just it's really poshly decorated because it's owned by the studio, so it's just kind of cool. I just keep it neat. It's like living in somebody else's house. Like I'm just house sitting somebody else's house.
I'm gonna walk around and fangirl over the instruments, and then like.
Oh, and I have like a neon sign. Or not a neon sign. I have a sorry to totally have interrupted you. There's a like one of those magic projection boxes that kind of displays like a record sign, kind of like an advertisement for one of my shows that I got to keep one of the boxes for. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah. Just going around and like kind of touching things just quickly. Like
absorbing the magic from it.
Is it okay if I'm just like raiding the fridge a little bit?
Of course.
Do you have anything in your like ice box or your pantry that's good?
I mean, yeah, I enjoy all the food that I have here.
Real talk. One time I woke up and I had a friend sitting on my couch in his underwear eating the ice cream that I had in the freezer out of the carton.
Oh.
That wasn't me, was it? I'm sorry if it was. It sounds like me.
He started with real talk. That's something that like yeah.
Is that something you've done, Steno?
I can't imagine you like just sitting there in your underwear eating ice cream. Like I can't do it.
Well, underwear, but still the badger cloak.
Jesus.
So I look like Daniel Radcliffe from that movie Guns Akimbo.
Oh no.
I like that movie. That was great. That was a fun movie.
But I got some snacks, some like cured meats and such, and I'm gonna like set them out so we can get to them.
Does this mean I can do the thing again?
Okay. Yeah. I'll pick up like a couple small things off the floor. Like I don't want this to get knocked over.
I'm going to hold it in one hand, and then I'm going to punch the bottom of it to turn it inside out. And I'm going to yell, confetti!
Kind of have.
Are you going to do it aiming towards the air so it comes raining down? Awesome.
I definitely have a
gold coins shower
face.
the living room.
I'm wondering if we're gonna have to like roll for bludgeoning damage.
No. You do get 5,000 gold coins though at the end of this pouring down extravaganza plus the vellum tube.
Yeah, what's in that scroll?
So it's really big, right? It's really long, and as you untie it and roll it out, it's actually a tapestry that just had like a vellum backing. As you unroll it, it's painted on the other side. What you see is a picture. It's one of those tapestries, so it has like a flowing picture above, and then like this like round like a layer that looks like stonework, and then these darker pictures underneath. But what it looks like is, if going from left to right, it shows these elven-looking people, and they're standing there across from a handful of like knights in armor. And then the next picture over shows the elven people like with their arms out, and they have a ring that they're holding up on a pillow. And you all recognize that ring just looking at it as the ring that Reslin had recently in his possession. And then the next, as you keep going to the right, it shows like this castle in the background, and the knights and the elven-like people are all moving towards this castle and going inside of it. And underneath, flowing on the bottom half, again from left to right, looks like this dark, shadowy, swirling tentacles that are constantly just rolling across the bottom of the map. And then it shows like one of the elven people and one of the people in armor holding up a lantern, and this light shining down. And on the last, all the way to the right, you see the tentacles retreating back into what looks like a cave system.
I don't get it.
So this ring does something. What race was Reslin?
He was a human kid.
Does the castle look familiar?
Does the what?
Castle in the picture?
It's a castle you've seen on all kinds of different tapestries. It's nothing that looks like a real castle. It has a bunch of extra like pinions and towers and so forth, and nothing that would be designed in the real world for defenses.
Okay.
Do they just look like normal elves?
Their features are a little bit more elongated. Their ears are longer. Their limbs are longer, but that could also be just poor artistic style. You know how things were drawn in the Middle Ages. It could be just stylistically enough to make them look more different.
So elves gave a ring castle, and there's a lantern.
Shadowy tentacles that retreat from the light. Okay.
Hooray!
You want to try and find Reslin?
Are we in like a fairy tale? Are we gonna like light a lantern and fix all this? Are they afraid of light?
I'd like to bring up the last time that a lantern was lit.
Why are you bringing up old stuff? Uncool, man.
We want to try and
Exhibit
loop
A.
somebody in to try and help us research this.
My mind immediately goes to
Your dad?
Yes. And he puts a hand to his face.
Who's your dad again?
Just an old adventure.
And do you get along with your dad?
Yeah, my parents are eccentric.
Okay. Hard to believe.
What's eccentric?
He very well could just say, figure it out on your own.
Okay.
I mean, we could try the wizards at the guild, but...
Or like a historian?
Do you know any historians?
I don't know.
Is this the sort of thing where we're okay with like telling people? Or is this the sort of thing that we want to keep a secret?
You probably want to keep it on the down low.
So it's not just finding a history person, but like one we can trust.
Yep.
Who do we know?
Who do we know?
Do we trust Milo?
More than Spurin.
Oh, Spurin's not that bad.
Who runs the archives at the guild? The archives that you just made up.
Yeah, the archives that I
have
just
definitely
made
been
up
there.
At the guild that we've definitely researched, and it's been there all the time. I'm gonna go with the archivist.
Wow. How'd you think of that so quickly?
Oh man, sometimes I am sharp. Sharp as a tack.
And his
Oh.
name is Chair Lamping Fan.
Tack.
Bookshelf TV.
Okay. We trust the archivist.
I mean, it's worth a shot.
This is the tough part of adventuring. I think it's easier when you just know who to stab.
Yeah, puzzle solving. You still have the ring, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we shouldn't tell anybody.
Yeah, probably not. Especially because mind flayers were after it.
Yeah. So I'll take my cut of the money and squirrel it away in my house somewhere. You know, the freezer in a popsicle box.
You don't want to just keep it in the little pouch.
I mean, I could keep it in my own. I have a bag of holding. There's just a lot of gold to carry around. I'll keep it in my bag of holding. And then
those rings.
Oh, the rings and jewelry that we found.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. We found jewelry in the lockbox and jewelry on his dead body.
That's all stuff.
What?
Yeah, you took all those rings from the dead body.
Oh, was I not supposed to do that?
It's fine.
Did you put them on, or did you like store them
Just stuck
away, or
him
what
in
you
a
do with them?
pocket. I think I was channeling my inner Tasselhoff. Was I not supposed to do that? He was dead, but I guess that's still stealing, kind of.
It's fine. I think the problem is mostly that it was kind of gross.
Oh, don't worry. I washed them off in your sink.
If you just want to like put them out, I can prestidigitate them.
Oh yeah, I keep forgetting you can do that. I'll pop them out.
It's like spray some pink hand sanitizer on them. Magic hand sanitizer.
A magical version of Purell.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a small scent of disinfectant in the air for just a moment.
What we get? What kind of jewelry we get?
So inside the lockbox there was a handful of necklaces. They're very pretty. Did you want to like appraise them, take a look at them, see if they're worth anything, or are you just gonna wear them? Like, I can go either way.
Y'all?
They'll look really nice on a summer dress.
I mean, I don't know prices of things.
Yeah. Is there I don't have detect magic, so I can't really see if any of them are magic or anything.
Yep.
I don't know. Maybe we can have somebody just do a detect magic on them at the guild and see if any of this stuff is magic.
Sure.
Well, next time we're there, yeah.
Right.
I won't put them on in the meantime, I promise.
Okay.
So I guess that means no something.
It's like barely noon yet.
That just means so much time for activities.
Yeah.
Not that much to do here.
Well, drum circle. We could all sing a shanty. We could do makeovers. What else? Or we could go visit the guild and see about identifying these rings.
Yeah. And see if we can get talk to the archivist about this tapestry.
I'm okay with outside help. Away we go.
A total party guild symbol spins through the air and then fills up the screen and then spins away. You guys are at the guild.
Adam West style.
You stand before the archivist, as you can see that behind him is many of the journals and that you, Jewel, were already playing with yesterday, although he'd already gone to bed. He's an older gentleman, a small wispy beard that hangs down in front of his face, glasses that are constantly sliding down his nose. As he's talking to you, he slides them back up and then they slide down again. You wish to do what now?
Well, there's a couple different things.
Speak up.
Well, there's a couple different things. First, we'd like to do some research on the mind flayers, but also we were wondering if you could give us some insight on how to do some research on this old tapestry that we found.
You want insight on how to do research?
Where to look for information on it?
Do you have the tapestry with you?
Yeah. And I'll pull it out of my bag of holding.
Oh, interesting. Go ahead and open that up.
I will unroll it.
Oh, yes. You can tell this is old because of the ink.
Oh, really? Is it some kind of rare or unused ink? Or ink they don't use anymore?
Yes, more of that one. The ink style is not something that is used commonly anymore, although some of the historians are trying to bring back the old ways. That's silly of them. We should be moving on and advancing. I hear that they have some really new technologies. There's the star slates that I've heard about so much. I'm actually trying to get one myself, but have been unlucky so far. I think that it would be very nice to draw a picture with the star slate, don't you?
Sure. Yeah, definitely handy.
Yes, star slates, almost like the stars themselves.
This guy reminds me of like teaching old people how to use the internet, and it's like they type www.google.com into Yahoo search.
Oof.
So, you know somebody who would know who'd be able to give us like information about maybe the story behind this particular print or something like that?
Off the top of my head, well, there's a couple of journals that might detail something similar or something useful around that time frame. Yes, and he goes back to the stack. And he starts pulling them out. These were adventures that are written around the same time. We could take a look through them.
Sure.
He kind of like hands them over. Or he's like, or I could read through them and get back to you. Like either way.
Why not?
I let out a small groan. Reading.
Not that hard. I mean, to be fair, whatever we do, we're going to have to do some reading because we also have to research some mind flayers and maybe Lord Strangenfell, whatever information we can get on him.
You wanted to research mind flayers?
Yeah.
Oh, I've done a thesis or two on them. What would you like to know?
Well, we had to fight one recently and he got away, so
No, I don't think so. That would you would have to be very far in the under place, and he's like reaching for the word and can't remember what it's called.
Underdark?
Jeremy, fill me in here.
Labyrinth?
No, labyrinth. There we go. The labyrinth. You'd have to be very far in the labyrinth before you'd run across one of those.
Yeah, you'd think so.
Wait, do you not know? Does he not know?
I guess he doesn't know.
You may not know.
Wouldn't they tell you? You're the archivist. I guess we're the ones that would have written the story because we're the adventurers that dealt with it. So
Oh, maybe they haven't archived that yet.
I'm sorry. Do you have something that you'd like to add to the archive?
sure. We can tell him the story about fighting Lord Strangenfell.
And then I went pew, and his arm came off.
Yeah. So we jump in a couple hours later, and he's been scrolling everything as rapidly as he can. You see his hands, although old and cramped, are able to keep up with the task.
And like silently, since it's just like a montage, you can see Stena like gesturing and like stabbing at the air and demonstrating.
Quite unique. No, I mean, I knew that they could do such things, but I wouldn't have imagined them being this close to the surface. You know, they don't like the light.
We didn't see him in the light at all the entire time we were here.
Well,
And they have
probably closer to what I expected.
tentacles.
Sorry, what?
I'm gonna look at the tapestry. I'm just thinking, like, I'm putting together, they don't like the light. They have tentacles. We have this ring. I don't say that. I'm just thinking, but I'm telling everybody from the audience my inner monologue, because I'm only one person.
I'm telling everybody myself.
Yeah. So I'm just kind of, after he says that, I just kind of stare, I like shift my eyes to the tapestry that I assume I just left out while we were talking. And I'm just looking at it and trying to put together some of those thoughts. And I just kind of stop paying attention to whatever's going on in the conversation for a minute.
Yeah. Well, I did not expect them to be this close to the surface, like I said. And so far you've encountered them a few times now. That bodes ill. These machines that they were building, wow, I've never even imagined such a thing could exist.
Didn't you get our report from Hematone?
Oh, no, I did. I had that one. A large machine controlled by a bunch of hobgoblins, that's believable. But a smaller one controlled by the brain of whatever that is, that's a bit on the fantastic side of things.
Yeah.
Well, now that you've told me that story, now I know a little bit more. What information would you require? How could I help you defeat these terrible monstrosities?
Yeah, how could you help us? I mean, any information that we can get, they don't like light. Is that just daylight, or they don't like torchlight? Do they have weaknesses that we can exploit? Is there a good way to track them? Is there something we should look out for when fighting them, other than just them wanting to eat our brains? I I know they have some kind of ice attack or something. Yeah, just anything you can give us that will give us an edge while we're fighting.
Most of their powers are psionic based. They will attack the mind, one would say. Ice attack, that I don't recall happening at all in any of the stories. So that one I don't understand. But their mind attack is quite potent. If I was you, I would find or look for or see if there's other artifacts that would help protect oneself from those abilities. From what I understand, if they hit you just right, it can stun you for quite a long time. The intellect devourers, those as you call them, and he looks over at Stennel, those brain dogs, they are quite dangerous. They are often used as the mind slayers to infiltrate places before they take them over. Although, again, most of those places were infiltrated in a labyrinth. So we have a handful of stories from the deep kingdoms that required adventurers to go and help them against the mind flayers. But we do know that if you cast a protective spell, protection from good and evil, if there is a mind flayer inside the body, it casts it out. And if you cast it on yourself, well, they can't get in.
Huh.
Really?
Yes. So, you're going up against them, perchance protecting yourself in that manner would be a
Some
good
really
idea.
good news.
Can you cast that spell, Jewel?
I think that was...
With my set turn, I can once.
Yes, that was discovered from a great hero from back in the day. A Lord Restalion from the Elven Kingdoms.
Well,
So what's the next step? Do we just wait till something else happens? Do we take a break?
try to get a hold of Reslin.
Something to...
You think he could be related to whoever this map is about? You think the original Lord Stangenfell was related to one of these people? Why did he have this in his lockbox?
If we're gonna ask that kid, do we have a way to check to make sure he's not a brain or intellect devourer?
Check thought and suggestion.
Wait, you read his mind before, right?
Yeah. Protection from good and evil.
That's true. Maybe that's something we can ask him about.
Yeah.
So it sounds like Stangenfell was probably working this kind of thing before and got eaten somewhere.
You mean?
Well, so either this tapestry got put in the lockbox by the Mind Flayer, or
Right.
Stangenfell was working with the Mind Flayers in some capacity and then got eaten on Starfell. It's one or the other.
Yeah.
Or maybe Arturo was working with the Mind Flayers because he had access to the lock.
He was a brain dog by the end, wasn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Lord Stangenfell is a descendant of one of these guys, and he was looking for the ring or whatever, and this put him in the path of when he went to the Pewter Kings to try and get some kind of deal, hey, I'm looking for this ring, can you find it for me? That put him directly into the path of the Mind Flayers because the Mind Flayers were already working with the Pewter Kings, and then the Pewter Kings betrayed him to the Mind Flayers, and they that gave them an in. Maybe he was a descendant or something. Anyway, I think I said that. But so they killed him because maybe he's one of the only people that could have taken down the Mind Flayers.
What's in Starfell Lane?
Are you talking to the archivist?
Yeah, just everyone in the room.
The archivist has fallen asleep in the corner.
I don't know.
Do we know where in the city that is?
Go ahead and roll me a history check.
I'm gonna roll 2 since I'm from here.
Yeah. Everybody here, go ahead and roll me a history check. We'll see group check. We'll see where you guys.
0.
No.
11.
22.
All right.
Oh my!
20
goodness.
plus 2.
That die is still rolling hot. Are you using the same die? You trying to rub them to other dice together so you spread the luck?
No. The dice really just want us to know the lore, I guess.
So after you guys come together and you start putting your heads together, you realize that there isn't a Starfell Lane in West Bank, and then the thought process jumps. That means it's probably in the Underbank, the Undercity, the place down below.
The under business.
Well, they have that map from when we were about to raid it. We could try to find it on the map.
We pull up our map screen.
There's a blinking light that shows where Starfell Lane is on the map screen. You add it to your active quests.
Will it give us something on the HUD to help us navigate there?
Yeah, exactly. It's got a how many feet to it and everything. No, but seriously, after you guys go back and you do get the maps from the Undercity, there is a Starfell Lane on the Undercity maps themselves. It's nearby where the warehouse is marked, where the crates were supposedly delivered. But by the time your adventurers had gotten there, it was already empty. It's like two lanes over.
We want to go check it out ourselves.
Just to say it's not cleared out too. I mean, we can.
I feel like the smart thing to do would be to get the whole town in on it, get the board in on it, get other cities to send people, go down there with an army. But I mean,
problem is they've already been infiltrating the towns.
Who's to say the archivist isn't one of these brain dogs?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably best if we do this ourselves. Into the under dips, follow the trail, see if there's more mind flavors we can fight.
You say flavors?
Baskin Robbins 35 flavors.
I don't want to assume.
Let's do it.
Even a little bit.
Are we rested up?
Yeah, it's been a day. You guys already slept, so yeah, all your stuff is restored.
We should tell somebody we're going down there, though.
What are you gonna tell Jewel?
I don't have to tell everybody. Just
Sorry,
Osric is the one in charge of assigning jobs.
Yes.
So let's tell Osric that we're going to check it out.
Alrighty. So you just inform Osric. He seems like he's busy dealing with other things, and he nods his head and says, "Oh, good luck. Let me know how it turns out."
Sure thing.
And then you guys move to the Undercity.
Seems like such a bad idea, right?
Yeah, probably. But just we'll check it out.
All right. So using the map, you now know of multiple ways into the Undercity, a place that before this adventure you guys had never even thought of or had dared to think about or investigate. But now here you are, your third trip into the Undercity. You take one of the entrances nearby, and it kind of spirals farther and farther down until eventually it comes out in a unassuming side alley. You can see that this area here of the Undercity is well lit. It is bustling. There's a lot of activity going on. There's several market stalls that are open. This area here is large tenements, and they're stuffed with people that are not nearly as well off as the rest of the West Bankers. You see that there's a larger influence of deep gnomes and dwarves inside this part of the city. Who are more accustomed to this underground area and feel more at home inside this part here. To wit, the tenements themselves look like they're carved stone directly out of the ground, and they have more of a dwarven architecture. That block with the angles, the doorways where there's humans that inhabit it have had to been increased, so they're a little taller. Or some humans you see just duck underneath the smaller dwarven shaped doors. Starfell Lane itself is a fairly long lane, and as you guys arrive on that lane, the hustle and bustle of one of the side streets that you guys were just down quiets down. This lane here is darker. Many of the lights have been put out, and it just has the overall sense of foreboding, as if you're walking into a lair of a hungry beast.
Well, we're definitely in the right spot. I'll put my hands on my hips and look around we're definitely going to die down here.
Yeah. Is there a street number?
No, there's no numbers down here. You're just navigating by the map.
I mean, this is it. How many buildings are there?
The lane is fairly long. You guys have entered on one side of it. There's lots of different buildings here that line up along the lane. There's some shops. There is some restaurants. There's a couple of larger buildings that look like maybe they're offices or tenements that line this way. It's probably a city block long, and then it tees at another street that's at the end of it. You see strings that are running from building to building. There's some clothing hanging on lines stretching above you.
Any white suits?
Go ahead and roll me a perception check.
Can I do the same?
Yeah, you guys are all, I'm assuming you're sweeping the area and looking up.
That is a dirty and a natural 20 because my perception is 0 and I rolled a 20.
9? Leave some for the rest of us.
Sorry.
About the fourth building in, 3 stories up, you see that there is a guy that's hanging out on the balcony. At first, he just looks like he's wearing like a black t-shirt, and he's out there just smoking, and he's like staring off into the street. And then as he gets up, he grabs a white coat off of the balcony edge and swings it on and puts it on him, and it's a white suit jacket. And then he grabs a white hat and settles it on his head before he turns and walks back in the building.
As he's doing that, I will nudge B and point without saying anything.
B, you can see
you.
what that guy's looking at.
I consider myself elbowed.
Gonna storm a building?
I mean, why did we come down here?
I mean, we're wealthy enough we could lease it or buy it. But let's storm it instead.
I mean, I
want.
was gonna say, still my makeup on. We still have a signet ring. We could just use that to walk in.
More talking.
I mean, if they've seen us before, they'll recognize Stennel, and they might recognize you.
So, what is the building the guy was?
It looks like a dwarven brick building. It's carved directly from the ground. It would be just, it blends into the architecture, so it doesn't look like it's like a warehouse or anything like that. It looks like there's a small shop on the basement floor, and then the next 2 levels look like they're tenements.
What's in the shop?
You approach the front, so you can look inside the shop. As you approach the front, you notice that it's a small jeweler's shop. Thick bars run across the outside, so you can see the window, and then there's like a painting of a diamond with like the little gold lights shining off of it. It has yellow neon light trim that kind of like blinks occasionally, and then like white diamonds that shine up and then fade away. The doors are actually locked. It looks like you have to knock first, and then a big man will let you inside, and you can see him from outside the shop.
Is this the only way into the building?
For you guys are standing, yes. I mean, you could do a investigation, but
I'm just trying to figure out.
I'm the outside.
If only someone hadn't stuffed their grappling hook into a lockbox, we'd have had a way right up this thing.
I have a grappling hook.
Prepared.
Yeah. So we could walk around the building and look for another way in. We could knock, or we can go up.
Let's look for another way, and then let's climb if we can't find another way, I guess.
Okay.
So this building and the 2 buildings next to it are like wedged up against each other. You have to go down 2 buildings first before you see an alleyway to go across. The alleyway cuts across to another city block. If you want to go ahead and do that, I'm assuming yes.
I'd rather.
So
yeah,
I'd rather go up
buildings down, and then we have to go more buildings across
through an alley and then come back. Yep.
All right.
So you go down the alleyway, and when you come out on this side, it's all like looks like residential buildings. If you move up 3 doors to the outside of the one where the shop would be on the other side of it, it's a small stairwell that leads up and a small stairwell that leads down, and a doorway that would open up into what looks like apartment buildings or an apartment building.
Is the door locked?
You go up to the door.
One building?
Yeah, you go. Yeah, it's all one building. You go up to it and you open it, and the door opens no problem at all. But there's like no lights on this building itself. It's all fairly dark. When the door swings open, it's a small hallway. There looks like there's trash and like pieces of wood and cardboard and so forth. Just maybe not cardboard, but boxes and so forth. Just the inside of this building looks pretty trashed. There's a stairwell that runs up at the end of the hall, and the building itself is about half the size of the entirety of the building. It looks like the stairwell stops where about halfway through the building would be. If you were to punch a hole through the wall, you'd be on the other side of the shop. How I'm trying to describe it. Yeah, so Stanley, now you have another option.
Made out of stone.
I mean,
yeah.
If you imagine this, super rich guy comes down to the Starfell Lane and he's meeting somebody, like maybe it was in the jewelry shop that you have to knock to get in. I'll tap on the wall a bit on the stone, and then I'll tap on the stone a bit, and then I'll be like, maybe we should have just knocked.
Well, maybe if it's all one building, maybe the upper apartments are bigger and go over the top of the shop.
Up we go.
You guys move up to the second floor, and as you do, B's thought process is accurate. When you get to the second floor, it does open up a little bit more. It also has a guy in a white suit standing at the edge of the hallway. When he sees you guys come up towards the top of it, he looks your way, and then you see him like knock on a door to his left, and then he starts walking towards you. He's like, "Hey, you guys should know by now. This is not access for anybody, huh? This is Pewter King's territory. Come on, get on the move out."
Oh, he's adorable.
We're on business from Lord Stengenfell, and I hold the ring up.
Oh, all right. Yeah, hang on. I'll let the boss know. And he turns around and starts walking back. It's like, yeah, it's okay. It's Stengenfell. He's sending these
I
people
put my
down.
sword away. It was half drawn.
A really, really big guy pops his head out of the door, looks down at you guys, says, "Okay." And then he ducks back in the door, and you can hear him say, "Go tell the boss."
Boss is gonna know who we are.
Yeah, we're going to say hi. Maybe he'll cooperate this time. Better.
Oh God, what are we doing?
Picking a fight we can win.
Getting cocky because we almost killed a mind flayer.
Yeah, we're pretty cool. Does it?
Time passes, and then the same guy pops his head out. He says, "All right, the boss said he'll see you. Although he's wondering why. Well, I guess he can talk to you anyways. Like, I don't know. I shouldn't stick my nose in this shit. You know, they keep telling me not to put my nose in this stuff, but I keep saying things anyways. Like, why are you here? We shouldn't be worrying about it. We got the guild after us. That kind of a thing."
Just stare at him
Steno,
unblinkingly.
you still wearing your guild
Would
pin?
Jewel have reminded Stenel to take his pin off? Stenel would not have done that. He would still be wearing it.
Yeah, probably.
What's the probability?
I mean, because we did the same thing last time. Like, did we learn from our mistakes?
But the thing is, I was coming here thinking we were going to fight anyways. I didn't think we were going to be sneaking.
What do you think, like 60%?
He's ready to roll percent dice, guys.
None of us said that we took him off, so.
I was dressed out to go to the bank.
Oh, yeah.
Right. He was dressed up to go to the bank. You wore magic, so I didn't know if you guys thought about
I thought
doing that
about
or not.
it, but
I know
I don't
for
think that I wear my pin
Yep.
around all the time unless I'm like on official guild
We'll
business.
call it a
Right.
50-50 shot whether Stenel actually took a pin off.
All right, 50-50. You lucky dog. Joe reminded you took off the pin.
Tucked it inside the
Yeah.
old badger cloak.
And I say, what is the worst thing you've gotten in trouble for saying?
Oh man, I don't even want to bring that up. Like he didn't talk to me for like a week after
That
that.
sounds
You know,
amazing. You got to tell me.
I mean, yeah,
hate it when
maybe,
that happens.
like maybe over drinks or something. Like after you talk to the boss or whatnot. Like you probably got stuff to do and things. Come on, let's
you can tell me real quick.
catch
Can't
up to the boss.
Yeah, we have all the time in the world for you.
And he looks left and right, and he's like, "Well, I was talking about Polly and his girl, and his girl is really nice looking. And one day me and her, we were just like hanging out. We didn't do nothing, you know what I mean? But I let him know if he wants to, I would do some stuff. And man, yeah, Polly, he hits real hard. Like I saw this and that tooth in the back there, like maybe eventually I'll get enough money I can get that regrown. But
I just give
yeah,
him
it's
a
probably
pat
the worst thing I ever said out loud.
and laugh at him.
We've all been there.
Hey, actually, I think it's cooler you're missing the tooth. It tells a story, It tells a story about you. So I like that. Keep being you.
Yeah, I mean, that's what they keep telling me not to be. Stop being you. They said.
Can
Stop opening your big
Can I
mouth.
look up at him like real serious like and just be like, you need to ignore that. Don't listen to them. You are unique. You are worth something. And you're going to make something more of yourself one day. I believe that. And I'm going to give him a real big, sincere hug.
I feel that's really speaking to me. Like I feel like on a personal level that's really like building me up. It's not very often you run across people that just go out there and just like want to help people and make them feel better about themselves. I really respect that.
What's your name, friend?
Demetrio.
Hey, it's good to meet you,
Okay.
Demetrio.
Yeah. So, anyways, you follow Polly up there, and he'll let you in to see the boss. And the giant sticks his head out and says, "Okay."
Hiya, Paulie. Yeah.
Yeah, he looks like he hits hard.
Oh man, yeah. Like he didn't even seem like he had much effort. He's just like, boom. I wouldn't piss him off. That
Well,
sucked.
follow the big man.
Me too.
Right. The big man pops his head back inside the door. When you guys go inside the door, you see that it looks like trash on the outside, but inside it's much better appointed. It's the same kind of artistic style that you ran across before, Jewel. It's someone who has money but doesn't know what taste looks like. Just gilded gold all over the place. Fur rugs that don't match thrown across the ground. And a stairwell in the back that looks like it had been carved, like the roof had been carved out and a new stairwell had been built in, leading up through like side of the apartment. So you guys begin making your way towards the top there. And eventually you arrive outside of the door of what would be the penthouse suite at the top of the building there. A large door stands before you. The big man, Polly, begins walking towards it. Two other pewter kings stand on either side of the door. They reach for the door handle, they crack the door, and they open it up. And as Polly walks inside, will the adventurers face down Mr. Besselman and survive? Well, they find out what exactly is going on here inside this area. Where did the rest of the shipments go? Find out next time on Total Party Guild. But before we go, a word from our party.
Hi, it's me, Vanessa. Check us out on social media. We're Total Party Guild, all one word, across all platforms: Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Reddit. We're not on the TikTok because we're all old and it seems like a lot of effort. So check us out everywhere else, though.
As well as email us at totalpartyguild@gmail.com. Send us your memes. Send us your dice picks. Send us your best dad jokes. I really like those. And don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe.
And if you want to learn more about a roast of the cast, the characters, or anything in between, check us out at totalpartyguild.com, where you can learn about all of that and more.
And remember, folks, a group of I forgot
a bunch of people can do more stuff.
Yeah, it's literally what I was going to say.
Get her
done. Is that our outro?
Yep. A bunch of individuals can tackle a large problem.
Continue to party.
And party on!
Party on!
Party once in a while.
Party responsibly.
Party every day from like 2 to 4.
Really hard.
In between chores.
Do the Pomodoro party.
You know
15 minutes of nothing, 35 minutes of party.
You know what? Nap on.
I'm done here.